how is the month of August likely to end? You probably don't need a crystal ball to be able to say there is still a possibility of the month closing positive, and all that the market need to do is to rally to an excess of 1.4% at the end of trading tomorrow, reversing the drop that has been done on the last 2 trading days. But that is not going to be a major concern, because one of the things that we'll also be hoping that August will bring on the table is that will he be able to cross the 45 billion naira mark, having stayed in that position in 2020 and 2021. Furthermore, we'll also be hoping that the record that Honeywell has created as far as the best in the last 5 years in terms of how the month of August had finished will also be one that will be waiting to be broken. How that is going to happen, again, we'll keep our finger crossed. But what is also of importance on the program this evening is that, yes, August is ending, the market is about the future. So we'll be looking at how the month of September is also likely to end. And in talking about the month of September, you must also remember that that month also comes to end the 3rd quarter. So we'll be sharing with you what the 3rd quarter had been in the last 12 years. And that itself may begin to give some understanding as to how September and by extension 3rd quarter of 2022 is also likely to end. But don't also forget, as far as this program is concerned, in the last 16 years, the major component that for us is a must for us to be able to educate our viewing public. And that will mean that we'll be talking about market development, we'll be talking about notice board, we'll be talking about corporate results, and interestingly, talking about corporate results, we'll be talking about 2 companies that have relationship with the media on the program this evening. I'll be leaving you to make a judgment as to what is it that is happening. But for our first-time viewers, talking about 16 years history, one of the things that also helped us in the last 16 years is the fact that this program is designed to be bottom-up. So your input will basically help to prepare us for the next edition. And that is what has helped us over the years. So use any of the platform, be it by email or be it by SMS. What is important is that both will end up in one location, and that location is the conveyor belt that helps us to take the raw material into a processing platform, and having been processed, we will then be in a position to give you a well-refined, well-researched, and above all, well-presented position as far as the Nigerian capital market is concerned. And it's also on that note that we'll be asking that you permit us to take the first break, because when we do return after the break, we are certain that we have something to offer. But if you ever think that because you've heard the summary, you don't have any need to be with us in the next 60 minutes, what we can also confirm to you that you'll be more than 300% plus not correct. So because we know there is benefit to be derived, we just ask you, relax, because not only will you be informed, you'll also be entertained, in addition to we having to do some basic education as far as the Nigerian capital market is concerned. Once again, you're welcome to the program, and permit us to take the break.
Sure thing, sweetie. Get your shoes and we go.
Promise?
You have my word.
Daddy!
You know I wouldn't leave without you, my princess.
There's nothing more important than a promise. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
You're welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Stock and Shares. Yes, it's true that the market rallied to closing positive in the week, and that is for week ended 26th of August 2022. But that will not tell the whole story, because even in the midst of the market rallying to positive, indications are bound that the market is still under some level of pressure. This itself is one of the things that we'll also be sharing with you in the course of the program when we take a look at the 7 years existence of the premium sector. But looking at the week, first you will notice that the volume, which is the first chart that we'll be sharing with you, the volume and value traded speaks volume. Less than 1 billion units of shares were traded, and this itself was less than 15.3 billion naira. Yet the size in terms of value is an improvement over what was done in 2020 and 2021. Interestingly, if you put those 2 years for this period of the year together, those two figures basically are par with what 2022 have done. So that itself may be some consolation. But what is also of note is that 6 times out of 8, the volume have basically traded below 1 billion. And if you look at the chart, you begin to understand why it is so. And if you then take it further, in 6 years, 2016 to 2021, ironically, the market had closed positive on the last trading day of the week. And that itself has been extended by what 2022 has done. So it's been 7 straight years of the market closing positive on the last trading day of the week. And that basically also explains why the position in 2018 to 2022 also has the market closing positive. If you then take the next level of assessment, which has to do with the volume across board, what you will find is that after 2009, it took 6 years for the market to be able to pick up a 2 billion level transaction in 2015. And then it took another 4 years, that is 2019, for the market to pick again another 2 billion units in terms of transaction. However, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2015, and 2019 were the only 5 years that the market traded over 2 billion. And if you then extend again to the next layer of assessment, which happens to be the value, just like we told you, 2017, 2009, and 2007 were the only 3 years that the market traded over 20 billion naira. Again, an indication that the market not only shallow, but also struggling. And to take it further, we're having a situation where 8 out of 8, the market has done less than 20 billion naira worth. So if you look at the position as to how the market has also fared in terms of closing positive, only in 2008 the market did close positive, doing over 2 billion in terms of units and doing over 20 billion in terms of value. And that's basically the summary of the challenges that our market is having to cope with. If you then look at the more detailed presentation, if you consider the first one as a passport, this certainly will be a portrait. What you then will also find is a situation that other than the insurance subsector that did 3 straight years, 2020 to 2022, closing positive, and interestingly finishing the best in the week under review, that is talking about the insurance subsector doing almost 3.9. This itself is a situation where, from all indication, that sector itself did close negative on the last trading day of the week. And then if you then push it further, the main market is posting its first positive close in the week in 6 weeks. So 5 other weeks before now, that sector is basically has struggled as to what the market has to offer. And that, again, is an indication of the challenge, because the main market basically excludes the premium sector in terms of the all-share index. But while the chart is on, let's quickly mention that from all indication, there are positive news in the sense that Fidelity Bank has basically taken off the UBN, that is Union Bank UK subsidiary, and that also means that Fidelity Bank is taking over a 39-year-old bank with operation in London. But furthermore, we also have a situation where in 2021, we had the situation where NGX basically migrated from NASD to NGX, hence being able to be traded on its own market. This itself is coming in a year after ICO had a right issue, and that right issue was at 80 kobo. While in 2019, we had the listing of Great Nigerian Insurance on the NASD. We also had the suspension, ironically, in the same year of Royal Exchange, and that suspension is repeating itself in 2022. But in 2019, Resta was also had its right issue, and that right issue was at 4 naira 50 kobo. Don't also forget that in 2017, Morrison Industry also had a right issue, and that right issue was at 60 kobo, as against the right issue for Union Bank that was at 4 naira 10 kobo. While in 2014, Transcorp Hotel had an offer, and that offer was at 10 naira. This itself is coming in a year before the creation of the main board. And on the program this evening, we'll be looking at how the main board had fared. But let's close this segment as to how the market also finished in terms of the number of companies that fails to record any price change. Because the next chart I will be sharing with you will be indicating that for the 3rd consecutive years, we have a situation where the market is trading less than 100 companies without any change in their prices, which itself was last done in 2017 when we had 99 companies. Every other year between 2010 and 2022, other than those 4 years, the market has basically battled to be able to do less than 100. But it must also be mentioned that from all indication, investors in PZ who are also hoping that the dividend will be declared in the week, just like we projected, the company has further extended the possibility of its result hitting the market by another 30 days. Hopefully, on or before 29th of September, investors will be able to understand which direction PZ Kusin will be heading. And it's also on that note that we'll be taking another break. And when we return, after this break that we'll be taking now, I'll be looking at which companies helped to push the market up, and above all, what the NASD also did do in the week under review. Please stay tuned.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people, People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Have you been disconnected because you didn't link your national identification number to your MTN number? Don't worry. If you already have your NIN, here are 5 easy ways to reconnect. 1. Dial *785#. 2. Text your NIN to 785. 3. Use WhatsApp to chat with Ziggy. 4. Use the My MTN NG app. 5. Visit mtn.ng/NIN. Whatever method you choose, make sure you get a confirmation message. If you don't have an NIN, simply visit www.mtn.ng to book an appointment, or just walk into an MTN store or NIMC center near you. What are we doing today?
The task ahead of us is never easy, but with focus, preparation, and sheer will, we accept the challenge. We take the first step forward because challenges are just a part of life. The wind blows, doubts creep in, and you may lose some balance. You must keep moving forward because the balance will get easier, especially when you have the right partner like Custodian who worries about the risks.
I have found the right partner. I found Custodian. Now I'm in control every step of the way.
Custodian, exceeding expectations.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, the program is Stock and Shares. Let's look at how the NASD, which is a much smaller market, ended in the week. First, we can confirm to you, just like the NGX, the NASD also did rally to a positive of 0.91%, which also meant that in terms of yield to date, it did finish at 2.43% positive. You may say that that itself is a far figure from what the NGX has done, which is standing at 16.3. But 3 companies basically stood out, and they all finished positive. As CSES ended 57 kobo up to close at 14 naira in the week, while for CT Trust went up by 94 kobo to close at 12 naira 84 kobo. And interestingly, since the company was listed, it's basically done 133.45% in terms of yield. For WAMCO, rallied to a 2 naira 70 kobo gain, and that also meant almost a 3% improvement in its market capitalization that also saw it close at 93 naira. In terms of volume traded, we can confirm to you that VFD, City Trust, Niger Delta, WAMCO, and CSCS dominated in terms of volume, while in terms of value, NASD didn't have a spot on the chart, but VFD, Niger Delta, WAMCO, City Trust, and Double One basically picked up slots in the week. But on the NGX, that went up by, like we told you, 0.63%, haven't had a massive rally on the fourth trading day of the week, had Airtel doing 134 naira 60 kobo gain in the week, and that also helped Airtel to close at the best performing stock in terms of volume, in terms of price appreciation, while Nestle rallied to a 50 naira gain, and this is courtesy of the 42 naira 60 kobo gain on the last trading day of the week. For MTN, it reversed the 4 naira drop that I posted the previous week when it finished fourth, with a 4 naira gain in the week, finishing third. While Stanbic IBTC also went up by 2 naira 50 kobo, again partly as a result of the announcement of the interim dividend. NEM Insurance went up by 30.9% in terms of market capitalization, and helping to wipe out the 59 kobo drop that I posted the previous week when it finished 12th, to close 118 kobo positive. Multiverse is basically proving analysts wrong, because one of the things that the market have shown over the years is that majority of the companies that do reconstruction end up going down in terms of share price. But Multiverse rallied to a 30 kobo gain in the week under review, adding 14.3% to its share price, and closing 10 kobo gain on the last trading day of the week. You may want to know that the previous week, Multiverse was down by 34 kobo when it finished 18. 30 kobo was a gain for Honeywell as well, hence a 12.4% appreciation. Len Africa went up by 22 kobo, 2 better than Owando and ETI. But what must also be said about Len Africa is the fact that the previous week he only managed a 5 kobo gain, though finished 10th, while Owando, that went up by 5 kobo on the last trading day of the week, basically fully recovered from his 5 kobo drop that I posted the previous week. In all, only 27 companies appreciated in price in the week under review, and 17 of them was a gain that they posted on the last trading day of the week. But on the downside, that had 38 companies, and with only 15 gaining price on the last trading day of the week, PZ did feature going down by 45 kobo on the last trading day of the week. And interestingly, the previous week, it was also down by 1 naira 75 kobo. So with the delay in announcing the results, again, it is not too certain as to what pressure will be coming the way of PZ. But surplus did go down by 100, almost 120 naira in the week, hence a 8.4% dip in its market capitalization. The previous week, the company was also down by 10 naira 60 kobo when it finished at the third worst performing stock. Dangote was down by 13 naira 80 kobo, as against Okomo going down by 7 naira. But must be mentioned that Okomo's 7 naira drop was basically a markdown for the dividend. But the previous week, Okomo was down by 21 naira 60 kobo, hence having to have surplus replace it in the week under review. Boa Food down 4 naira 15 kobo, 15 worse than Guinness. Guinness did drop 4 naira on the last trading day of the week, as against 2 naira 20 kobo drop that Vitafoam posted in the week. And Vitafoam recorded almost a 10% drop in terms of market capitalization. Flour Mills of Nigeria dropped by 2 naira 5 kobo, in continuation of the 3 naira 40 kobo drop that I posted the previous week when it finished 8th. But for Boas Cement, it went down by 1 naira 80 kobo, having gone up by 90 kobo the previous week. For Northern Nigerian Flour Mills, it was adjusted for a dividend of 25 kobo, but the total drop in the week turned out to be 1 naira 10 kobo, ahead of Fitsin Healthcare that dropped by 99 kobo. But at the end of trading today, we can confirm to you that MTN dropped further by 1 naira to close at 199 naira, while Cadbury dropped by 40 kobo to close at 13 naira, while Unilever dropped by 35 kobo, and you'll be opening market tomorrow at 13 naira 15 kobo. For NACO, it dropped 22 kobo to close at 5 naira 70 kobo. This itself is the top 4 in terms of the 13 companies that dropped price in the week under review. But on the other hand, we had 13 companies that also appreciated in price, notwithstanding the fact that the market dipped by 0.07%. Leading the pack of gainers happens to be Vitafoam, that went up by 1 naira 60 kobo, and will be opening the market tomorrow at 23 naira 60 kobo, while corn oil again sneaked in with a 55 kobo gain to close at 26 naira 50 kobo, while Stanbic IBTC went up by 50 kobo, and it will be opening the market tomorrow at 31 naira, 10 naira better than what NGX will be opening its price tomorrow, having gone up by 45 kobo today, while Flamis of Nigeria added 30 kobo to the share price, and the closing was 27 naira 30 kobo. eTranzact went up by 22 kobo, and that also meant that eTranzact will close at 2 naira 50 kobo. If you then flip the chart to look at the companies in terms of the volume traded, talking about the big ticket, you also will find something interesting as to what the market is throwing up. First is that the number of companies that also throwing. Okay, let's start this way. MBA, mutual benefits, haven't been on suspension from 35 trading days. The accumulated trades came in the week, and that helped it to do almost 148, less than 148 million in terms of volume. And that also meant that he was leading 2 other insurance companies on the chart in the week under review, while 7 banks, First Bank, Access Bank, Jais, UBA, Zenith Bank, GT Holdco, and Sterling basically joined in populating the top 12, while Honeywell dropped to the 13th position with 12.6 million shares traded. But it must also be mentioned that the insurance companies NEM and AICO joined mutual benefit. Flipping the chart as to how all of this translated in terms of volume, in terms of value rather, is the fact that the insurance company basically disappeared largely as a result of the size, their share prices, the size of their share prices. And that itself meant that the big boys basically took the forefront. But in talking about the big boys, in a week that had 39 companies, 11 of them in the banking subsector, 3 of them in the insurance subsector in terms of volume, but not appearing in terms of the top 12. But we can confirm to you that in all, 3 insurance companies did pick up a position out of the 39, while 3 cement companies as well as 3 building companies also picked up slots. But in terms of the top 12, we can confirm that 5 out of the top 12 were in the banking subsector, and that also left 2 in the top 12 to be telco, and that is talking about MTN and Airtel, while 2 building subsector finishing 11th and 12th, that is Guinness and Nigerian Breweries, also made up the number in the week under review. And it's also on that note that we'll be taking another break. And when we return after the break, we'll be looking at what the month of September is likely to bring, and then how the premium sector has also performed. Please stay tuned.
In today's fast-paced, high-stakes, make-or-break world, you need every edge you can get to help your business succeed. That is why we've designed the new and improved Sterling Pro. we've made it even more flexible to adapt to your enterprise, no matter the size. And we've also upgraded the security to make your business transactions more secure. And now more than ever, you can now get even more done with one premium solution. Get the extra edge to succeed in today's competitive world with a solution that's built for your business. Visit sterling.ng/pro and let's get your business ahead.
Mimi, where's your mommy?
I struck out. A major part of being a parent is being present.
Where's your mommy?
For the little moments that make all the difference.
Where's her mommy? Now you.
To the biggest achievements that shape their future.
And the winner is Mimi Idris.
This is why the AXA Life Insurance Plan is designed to take care of you, so you are there for the moments that matter. Stay in the picture and be the parent you want to be. Call 0700 AXA Mansard today to speak to an AXA financial advisor.
What kind of nonsense be this? Now no one chop? See as customer boku for this place. Not be the same business we dey do. Huh? Answer me!
Oga, no be Dangote 3i cement then they use.
What you dey tell me? You dey tell me say one cement better than another one? No be it our cement we use for this block. Eh? Ah! Who set this block? Who set this block?
You see why I tell you now say Dangote 3i cement. Now Baba, he get extra strength, better yield, and extra life wey dey take well. Ah! No take your money buy problem. If you want better, buy Dangote 3x cement today.
Dangote 3x cement, build with peace of mind.
I wondered how easy it would be if your bank was part of your life, sort of like an assistant, a buddy, and a plug.
Alert, you there?
Always alert, sir.
I see what you did there. Am I up to date? What was that?
Your repayment has just been done. By the way, I found a cheaper ticket for your flight.
Awesome. Schedule my run for 7:19 a.m. tomorrow. I missed it this morning.
Already done.
What else?
Grocery shopping. The list has been sent to your phone.
Perfect. Anything else?
All done. Just get ready for your date.
All right, cool.
Welcome to the future of banking. Alert. Simple, reliable, and convenient. A smarter way to bank.
You're welcome back. Let's share with you that the month of September basically also have its own fair share of what the market usually would look like. And like I mentioned earlier, we'll be taking it in conjunction with how the third quarter usually has also fared in the last 10 years. One of the things you notice is that as far as September is concerned, September since 2019 has been on the good side of the market, closing positive. But in the last 15 years, the month of September has had 8 times negative, and that also included the fact that 2007 to 2011 had the month of September closing negative. Interestingly, it all started in 2006, which means that for 6 straight years, the month of September will close negative. But if you then look at after 2011, what you will find is usually 2 years up, which happens to be 2012 and 2013, and then 1 year down, and then thereafter 2 years up, 2015, 2016, and then by 2017, it was down, But 2017 had a cousin in 2018 because that meant that 2017 and 18 we are closing negative. And we'll be keeping our fingers crossed as to how 2022 will close. But taking a cue from 2002, we can confirm to you that 2002 did close negative at 4.2% before climbing to 2.78% by 2003, and then closing negative by 2004 at 9.32%, and then doing a 7.42% in 2005. And that itself is leaving 2004 from all indication as the year with the worst performance as far as September is concerned. If you then marry that in conjunction with the third quarter, what you will find is that 2020 and 2021 was in agreement with how the month of September ended. But by 20, which itself is similar to what 2018 also had to offer, because both sides closed negative. We also had the same instance in 2014, and then 2012 and 2013. While 2014 was negative, 2012 and 13 was basically positive, and 2011 again negative. And looking at the trend, what you will find is that 2011 happens to be the worst performing third quarter to date, while 2012, ironically, was a direct opposite of what a year before it did, because 2012 did close positive at 20.43, and that itself remains the best in terms of being positive for that quarter. But looking at the 7 years of the premium sector, which is what we'll be looking at next, what you will find is that that sector is basically trying to show some level of resistance, which itself is aligning with global studies as to how the premium sector basically have ended. Because looking at the chart, one of the things that you don't have on your screen is how the all share index has done. But what we'll find in the 8 years that premium versus main market is that the premium sector outperformed the main market in all the years except 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. And looking at what the market is also doing in 2022, you begin to understand. But that figure is at the end of the week. And if you then look at the premium sector vis-a-vis the all-share index, you also will find that the premium sector had outperformed the all-share index 2015 to 2022. If you then look at the premium sector against closing negative, you'll find 2015, 2018, 2019 have had the premium sector close negative 3 straight years, while the main sector itself had also had 3 straight years, 3 years of being negative, excluding 2017, because 2016, 2018, 2019 have all closed negative. But the all-share index itself had also had 4 years. Again, 2017 haven't closed positive across board, have also helped to tamper the size of red that will have been in the market, because all-share index was down 2015, 16, and then jumped to 2018, and then 2019. So the main market has also outperformed the all-share index only 2 times, 2015 and 2018. This itself is against what we have seen for the premium sector outperforming the all-share index all through. So the premium sector remains a sector to be trusted for now, and that itself is something that we'll also keep our eyes on. And it's also on that note that we take another break. When we come back after the break, we'll be looking at the corporate result. And like we told you, 2 companies in the media space will be what we'll be looking at. Please stay tuned.
My name is Wale Kadri. I'm the Executive Director of Technical ICO Insurance PLC. ICO has been in existence for 55 years and we have track record. In this market, we are known by a lot of multinationals. In terms of claim settlement, in the industry, they know also that we settle claims within 24 hours, within 48 hours, because we have the financial muscle and we have the technical skill, capability to do it. In terms of branch network, we have presence in so many states. We also give them best of services. So that's what we stand for as ICO. We are always there and there's a claim from our clients. We've been supporting various businesses for a long time and we'll continue to do that.
Hello, I'm Ziva, the Zenith Intelligent Virtual Assistant. What would you like to do today? I can help you open a Zenith bank account, check your account balance, transfer funds to any bank account in Nigeria, restrict transactions on your account, log dispense errors and other challenges, buy airtime or data, and so much more. Simply save the number 0704 000 4422 on your Alert Z phone line and say hi to me on WhatsApp to get started. Thank you.
For every uncertainty that
For 3 decades, people world over have improved their health and well-being by its rich ingredients. A unique blend of essential amino acids, multivitamins and minerals specially formulated to combat stress and fatigue. The golden promise of Astamine is being enjoyed by more and more people who have found the deepest secret of living life at its peak. Astamine. Get healthier.
life presents on a daily basis, there is only one cover you can be sure of: the Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC cover. We have all it takes to give you the assurance that life can be perfect, even in the midst of uncertainty. Come under our cover today and put life's uncertainty behind you. Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC. We've got you covered.
You're welcome back. And if you just joined us, the program is Stock and Shares. Let's look at the two companies on parade. And we'll be starting with Da Communication PLC. And what a number of investors have thrown at us from time to time is, when will Da pay his first dividend? Ironically, the same shareholders that are asking for the dividend are also the first to turn down or to cause the company to reverse a bonus that was offered. But looking at 12 months ended June 2021 versus June 2022, the top line moved from 4 billion to 5.2 billion, while the loss after tax dropped from 1.8 billion negative, because it's a loss, to a 1.4 billion loss. That again explains why the earnings of almost 15 kobo negative dropped to less than 12 kobo. No dividend, no bonus, and the waiting period infinity. But in terms of share price of the company, again, 2008 with a high of 5 naira 90 kobo, closing at 3 naira 31 kobo. The share price did close at 56 kobo by 2009. And ironically, the low in that year happens to be 50 kobo, and the high was 3 naira 47 kobo. But by 2010, with a high of 1 naira 58 kobo. The share price did close at 50, but the low in that year was 48 kobo. And again, this is instructive to persons who thought that the share price of the companies listed on the exchange didn't have to drop below 50 kobo, which was the par value of the company. But we can confirm to you that from 2010 to 2017, 8 straight years, the share price of the company remained at 50 kobo. Don't forget, haven't done a 48 kobo close, a low rather, in 2010. But by 2018, I dropped another 10 kobo to close at 40 kobo, and then dropping 4 kobo to close at 36 kobo by 2019, and then 30 kobo by 2020, and by 2021, extending to 2022, the share price has remained at 20 kobo. But that same pricing is similar to what Afromedia has also brought up. And interestingly, the two companies are in a position to be some beneficiary come 2023 because politicians need to publicize themselves. But from Afromedia, the top line moved from 294 million to almost 341 million. And then the loss didn't exist in 2022. Neither did it exist in 2021. Again, following extraordinary income, if you like. 2.5 million was the profit after tax, 12 months ended June 2021, as against 16.9 million for 12 months ended June 2022. And that basically explains why the earnings of less than 1 kobo in 2021 moved to close to half a kobo by 2022. No dividend in both years. And the waiting period is basically in excess of 52 years. But don't also forget in terms of share price. Having closed 80 kobo in 2009, from a high of 3 naira, 6 kobo in the same year, the share price did drop to 50 kobo in 2010. And then that drop of 50 kobo and the price of 50 kobo was extended into 2018, 9 straight years. And by 2019, it dropped to 34 kobo and then taking over the 20 kobo space between 2020 and 2022. So that is basically the story of the two companies on parade and talking about corporate results. And it's also on that note that we'll be taking another break. When we do come back, while we are waiting for the champions for the month of August, we'll be sharing with you the company of the week for the week ended 26th of August 2022. Please stay tuned.
Honey!
Daddy, please, can I go out with you and Mommy tonight?
Sure thing, sweetie. Get your shoes and we go.
Promise?
You have my word.
Daddy!
You know I wouldn't leave without you, my princess.
There's nothing more important than a promise. We are Fidelity. We keep our word.
Welcome back. And if you just join us, the program is Talk and Shares. Let's quickly put an answer to one of the questions that have already arrived and we thought we should be disposed of almost immediately. The question is how will this acquisition of UBN UK benefit shareholders of Union Bank in Nigeria. If you do remember, a few weeks back, we talked about Nigerian investors in Union Bank benefiting in terms of the shares that they hold or they were allotted to, them as far as Union Bank UK is concerned. That is a major benefit. But for the company of the week, which you already have on your screen, that happens to be NEM Insurance PLC. Again, for the benefit of our first-time viewers, no company of the week goes mentioned without the reason for the company being the company of the week. In the week under review, we had a situation where NEM did go up by 118 kobo, and if you remember, that helped it to finish 5th on the best stock chart. But that's 1 naira 18 kobo gain meant that the company share price did close at 5 naira, and that itself meant that in terms of gain, it went up by almost 31% in its market capitalization in the week under review. But if you then look at the share movement or the share price of the company, what has happened is that the share price has recorded a low of 186 kobo in the last 52 weeks, as against a high of 532 kobo in the last 52 weeks. But in a week that the company also did finish in the top 10 with 31.6 million to finish 9th, and the first time in 2022 that is appearing in the top 10 with a 31% appreciation, NEM Insurance basically earned the company of the week. And it's also on that note that we want to especially thank you for being part of this program. Please do remember, given that next week Tuesday will be the first Tuesday in the month of September, all that we'll be doing is basically assessing the market in terms of performance. Performance, performance, performance. So join us next week. Hopefully, we'll be back. But one thing that you can be certain about, you also will have so much to take away. But having said good night, it's also important to say that we usually will also give you takeaways, which some persons have also termed bonuses. So take away our bonuses, and we'll see you next week. Good night and God bless.
I used to care for the world's opinion. I used to fear their rejection. I used to beg for validation. And I used to wait to be seen. But the fire that burned in me was hotter. And the passion that lived in me had a voice of its own. So I stopped waiting and started to act. I stopped fearing and started to live. And when they thought I'd fail, I stepped into my power.
Because my time is now.
Amstel Malta, be your best.
A world of free entertainment awaits you. Anywhere, anytime, at the click of a button. A world where everyone is included. A world without subscriptions.